Okay. So after a couple years of feeling all these same symptoms and almost around the same time of year, I remember a couple years ago, I think in like 2018, um, I would be getting these hot flashes, like major hot flashes. So at that time, I knew I was still dealing with my own healing process, and I knew it wasn't menopause, but it was something that my body was going through because of the healing process. And so I was associating it with the Jilly Juice protocol, not looking at it as food and viruses. And so I would always open the door. Um, it was during October of like 2018, and open the door, letting the cold air rush in. And so I'm like, oh my God, it's so hot, so hot. And so I kept likening it to some kind of menopause type thing, or not menopause, but like some symptom of the healing menopause versus the unhealing menopause. So now it's like October around the same time. And these viruses were no different back then than they are today, but they're a bit more aggressive today, of course. And so the last couple weeks, and I'd say a couple weeks, I'm feeling this virus go through me. And it is, I mean, not only the onion smell, but it is the heat. It's like the sweating at night, the sweating during the day, feeling the heat when I lay down. It gets triggered either by just going outside. I mean, it gets triggered by so many things. And then today I had this snack attack. Like I was eating, like I felt like I was starving. Like if I didn't have any food in the house, oh, I won't really eat my dog. But I was telling my husband, well, if we had no food in the house, I would eat sugar. And he would just say, yeah, okay. And I'm like, oh no, I'm just kidding, But that's the thing. And so, yeah, Christina. And so anyway, so I ate a bunch of food, okay, and I even ate some spaghetti after eating those crackers, and then all of a sudden the mucus came, and this is the coding. This is the coding that you guys have to understand with mucus. When you get mucus and you start coughing after you ate a bunch of food because you were so hungry, people think that's because they're allergic to milk or they're allergic to whatever food they ate. And so they're under the impression that they're allergic to food because they have this mucus. No, that virus basically ran through me and started recoding everything and taking the food and the food supply and doing whatever it's doing. I mean, even pooping was really, really like very arduous. I mean, I tell you, this virus really does a number on you. And I will keep continuing to deal with this until who knows when, until everyone in my town is like dead or something. I don't know. So anyway, so I was coughing up a storm. I was like just spitting in the sink and just coughing, but I was still doing my job. I was still making my husband's lunch, making the coffee. I mean, I'm a little bit tired, yes, but I'm still energetic. Still take the dog out. I still get my dogs figured out. I put all the food away. I do all the dishes. And I just kind of get him prepared for the next day. And so, yeah, I took a nap this afternoon because, yeah, this virus, I mean, I'm good in the morning when I wake up, but I wake up around 8 o'clock now versus like at 4 or 5 in the morning because I have to sleep. I have to sleep. I have to code. I have to sleep. I have to heal. And so, yeah, so earlier, so I was like, I sounded like I caught another virus, but I coughed so hard, and I even kind of threw up a little bit too. Because when I was eating my spaghetti and I was drinking some tea, I threw up a little bit like, oh my God, and it tasted so nasty. It tasted so nasty. But I still keep eating. I threw up a little bit in my napkin. Okay, I threw it away. And I just still kept eating. I didn't drink too much anymore. So I'm like, okay, I don't feel like throwing up anymore because it tasted nasty coming back up. So I know that the first and second lines of defense are going to get triggered. And that's the body going through its reparations, even when you're awake. It's not always when you're asleep. But that energy, I'm telling you, not everybody survives viral energy. So that's why they're saying people should get a vector. Not that the vector is going to be 100%, but maybe it might help a little bit. But even then, if people are still going to have the same lifestyle, even getting a vector is not going to stop you from getting a shiz ton of a viral load that then your immune system is going to get activated and still produce antibodies. Even though they're not agonist antibodies coating your body, antagonist antibodies are being produced, taking up resources you don't have and trying to block that evolution. And so you're still using energy that is very precious to you. And so the only way you're going to survive this if you're immunocompromised is if you just don't see anybody. You can't make any movements out there. Don't even go outside. You have to be in a hermetically sealed environment. You know that's not possible. So I'm going to say that yes, even me at, I don't know how many pounds I am, but I mean, I'm not obese and I'm not so skinny. My husband is 100 pounds more than I am. He hardly feels anything. But he's been primed out his whole life here in Ohio with eating the meat, the milk, the eggs, the cheese, everything. He has strong, I can feel his bones. His bones are strong. My bones are softer than his. His bones are fucking rocks. And so he has a lot more of the minerals and the fatty acids and the amino acids, the prohormones and all that, that he can handle the shock waves of the new viruses in his environment. Though he did feel something extremely aggressive. 9/11/2020. And I'm telling you, it was 9/11/2020 that he felt something so insane that he thought he had a heart attack. He didn't. He thought he did. But he pulled through. And and so he was able to deal with the environment, but it really took him for a loop. So if you had aggressive issues in 2020, in 2019, early 2020 or late 2020, chances are whatever it is that you triggered, even in 2019, it was an aggressive virus that triggered a heart attack, a stroke, an autoimmune disorder, diabetes, you name it. Viruses are your friend and they can be an enemy. Why they could be an enemy? Because your body's at a deficit. If you don't know how to cough out mucus, if you don't know how to poop out and be okay with the first and second lines of defense, you're going to find every way to stop the energy and contribute to your de-evolution. What, sugar? Come here. See, you hear her whining? You hear her? She's a little whiner. Hi, sugar. I love you. And she feels the energy too. She feels it all. And she feels it at night. And so, if she's up at night at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm out there with her, watching her pee and poo and do whatever. But I try to keep her, relatively calm during the night. But she feels the energy. Okay? And so your animals have to be fed. Like I feed her all people food with a bit of her dog food. Because she needs the meat, she needs the milk, she needs the cheese, she needs the eggs, she needs pancakes, she needs everything that is appropriate for a dog. Aw, Christina says, hi, sugar. And she goes, hi, Christina. Hi, Auntie Christina. So anyways, I'm just letting you know that, yeah. So after that episode, so that was like watching a virus just, once it went through me and it made me very hungry, and then I ate food, everything is okay. And I coughed it out. I coughed out the excess. So when you're in that mode where you're feeling the heat and you're coughing out excess mucus, yeah, those are mucus RPGs. If you're not equipped to handle those mucus RPGs, they will kick your ass. So if someone was immunocompromised in my house right now, in the middle of that episode, and they had a heart attack or a stroke or had other issues before, they would not survive my DNA. My DNA would kick their ass. And that's the whole thing about the wearing of the masks and staying home and staying safe. Because my DNA would overwhelm and kick somebody's immune system's butt. And so this is why I don't want to visit anyone that I know is immunocompromised. Because I have a very strong immune system. And that means on both sides. Not just the antagonist side, not just the agonist side. I have a balanced immune system and it's strong. And it will overwhelm somebody else's. And so I will not risk that with anyone that I know. So I'd rather push everybody away and just be an antisocial person and people think I'm weird than me feel responsible that I destroyed them because I wanted to be selfish and hang out with them. And even though they weren't smart enough to know to stay away, I'm not gonna be out there and destroying people. Okay, so that's why I'm the way I am. It is what it is. You can love me or hate me. I could care less either way at this point. At least try to respect me. All right, bye.